Hello, everybody. How are you today? I'm doing okay. So, I'm gonna get straight into this. I tried recording this previous time, but it ended up to be almost like half of an hour. I don't know how the heck it went to that. Like 25 to like 29 minutes. It's horrible. And plus, I rambled way too much, so I'm gonna get straight to the point. In a nutshell, one, deck profile. You're not gonna hear me talk about the cards and other than the main focus of today, which is the Nanorays. So I'm going to be putting the cards over here. And so basically, I play Nanorays, and I've noticed like 4 problems. And in a nutshell, they don't get to their cards enough. Even if they do, it tends to get broken. Then after that, they can't get anything back. And the main reason that they can't even get the main reason that gets destroyed, they aren't fast enough. So that's like 4 huge problems. There's probably a couple more minor problems, but these are like the big ones holding this deck back from being competitive. You only really need to fix one. And I really do mean you only really need to fix one. I'm going to put them in this triangle formation. And really that big problem is consistency. Basically, we make this card that searches zeta rays, like this guy. And yeah, that's basically the first problem solved in a nutshell. You just make this guy again. This guy can search the searcher for this, making it count technically to 4. Because there's technically 4 more copies of a Zeta ray, you technically have 6. Because we have 2 different Zeta rays that we can play at 2 each, that means that we can actually have like 8 Zeta rays. That's like about a quarter of the deck, which is incredibly consistent with 6 Rolantis. Of course, with very easy chance to get your Zeta rays, that means you're actually more likely to swirl pool them away for a searcher for like Rolantis, so that's also a plus. And yeah, so that's like one card solution. So one card solution for the biggest problem of the entire deck, which is consistency. But they still have 3 other problems. They're not as important as consistency. Like, it's cool if Zach did make them in the next set, but we really need just basically another Jim Norris. But the next problem is, of course, our good old friend, speed. Speed is something that nanorays are not very well known for. Let me center myself a little bit. Basically, they're slow. You have Rolantis needing 4 nanorays. You're probably not going to get Rolantis most of the time. As of now, the consistency problem make it just a little bit faster because you'll have Rolantis more often and Zeta ray more often. But then they're still getting the nanorays on there in the first place. So I only can think of like one solution really, and that's cards that kill nanorays for effects. Like resource cards, like you can activate one, maybe like kill a nanoray and you plan to draw 2 or draw 1, it doesn't matter. It'll kill the nanoray and that's what would matter. Or like, yeah, it's a Zeta ray to your hand, or even another nanoray. Those kinds of cards would be insane. Oh my god, sorry. And yeah, that's like how you can it would help the speed greatly, but also actually another thing that would help speed is more cards like Nano Stinger. That would mean that we'd have a little bit more protection for our Volantis, and we'd have more materials on it, which is what matters. But that does lead me into my third point. Rolantis can't really stay on the field. I don't care about the Zeta rays not being able to stay on the field because we can get those back easier than we can Rolantis. Rolantis can't stay on the field like at all. My solution again is like more cards like Nano Stinger, but also Nanorays that protect Volantis, like one where if an effect were to, go after Volantis, or like if a creature's ability activates that would affect Volantis, you can just kill the attached Nanoray instead. Things like that would be great. I wouldn't say make it an attachment card, because it's a little bit broken, I guess. Because then you just put it on, boom, Pelfam's invincible. Not Pelfam's invincible. Volantis is invulnerable to Pelfam, which is, kind of broken. But I mean, it would be nice, but a little too nice. So Nanoray, meaning you have to kill it, but if we had those resources, these points actually all go together very well. So then, you get your protection on there. But then, what about the times where you can't protect Volantis? They get it. Well, this is my fourth point: recovery. Most of the time, your Volantis goes, even if you have a little bit of protection. So things that could turbo Volantis out can be nice. But what about bringing it back? So I thought for this one, you could have, I don't know, like resource cards that bring back Volantis, or better yet, a Nanoray that's like 2 or 3 stars. You cosplay it, and you get one Galaxied or killed Volantis. That's an insane deal. You would definitely want that, because then you can actually play again. And then, of course, with, searchers, if we get more Nanoray searchers especially, that means that we can easily get to it, which means Volantis is no longer an issue with the deck. It's no longer holding it back, which Volantis has been the biggest anchor. It's the core of the deck, and it's been the anchor that held it down so much. Because you have to have it, but then most of the time you're not having it. Either you're not drawing it, or your opponent gets rid of it. So it's like, you're screwed. So these 4 points, only 3 of them don't matter as much. Consistency is really the big one. That's what makes the deck playable. But then the rest of them, speed, protection, and recovery, those are all like quality of life. They make the deck better, but they're not required. The deck's still playable if you do have just a little extra consistency. It works out just fine. My issue with the deck is really just consistency. I can't get any Zetaраys, but that most of the time, even in like Untap, where I have 4 of them, and when I do have Swirlpool and a Zetaray, which could get my plays going, I'm afraid to shuffle in my Zetaray because I know I'm not going to get it back, which, yeah, that's not very good. So a Searcher would help with that. Make it so you can actually get your Volantis back, which, big deal. And I guess it's really just a matter of making the deck more consistent, and then maybe let it have some protection and recovery. Speed's not really as important. That can help with consistency. It's more of, can you keep Volantis on the field, and can you get Volantis in the first place? Because you can technically play Nanorays without Volantis if there are more cards like Skatota. Jesus. So those are my main points on why Nanorays are not very good right now. They lack consistency, and they lack speed. They don't lack impact. The Zetaраys are nice and impactful, and that's why they don't lack impact. Like, people who say they lack impact, not really. I mean, drawing 2 cards, making your opponent lose 4 stars. In the future, we might have, like, I don't know, kill like a certain card on your opponent's planet, or like, recur some of your guys. The Zetaраys are the impact of the deck. The Nanorays themselves aren't impactful that much, except Jim Norris, because that thing searches and gets your plays going. But things like Menelaus or Dracarys, they're pretty impactful. They're big beaters, and you get special effects off of them. So that's kind of like the big thing about that, I guess I'm debunking the impact argument when it comes to, oh, Nanorays suck, because yeah, they can function just fine. They have great impact when it comes to the Z arrays, because they're just impact on a card. That's what they are. They are the impact. These aren't the impact. These build to them. That's kind of how this deck works. So yeah, that's kind of the four arguments, well, four core problems with the deck. Inconsistency. You could use speed, protection, and recovery. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll probably be posting some Chaos Galaxy videos in the future because I love this game, and I'm happy I can finally start playing it. Honestly, I only played so much Yu-Gi-Oh because I couldn't play this. I love this game so much. I'm not quitting Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously not. I love that too much to quit. But I do want to post this stuff more, so maybe I can do a speed art or something. I hope you all enjoyed this, and this is Broden Jake signing out.